Originally released in 1958, Huston Smith's The World's Religions provides a well-rounded explanation of the major faith systems across humanity. Chapter 7 discusses many aspects of Judaism. Smith discusses the Jewish perspective of the meaning of God, creation, human existence, historical context, morality, and justice. I will discuss these a bit more in brief, before diving deeper into Smith's explanation of suffering, messianism, the hallowing of life, revelation, and the aspect of being the chosen people. I end with a commentary regarding the country of Israel. Smith's first point is that in Jewish perspective, God is a God of righteousness and of love. Unlike other cultures such as Greek and Roman beliefs, the God of Judaism is a single entity that unifies the entire universe. His loving kindness is everlasting, and his tender mercies are in all his works. Judaism firmly believes that from the very first book of Genesis, God created the heavens and the earth. He then gave mankind dominion over that earth. This differs from some religions, such as Taoism, which states that man will never succeed in taking over the earth. Three unique aspects of Judaism that carry over into Christianity and Islam are the material aspects of life are important, that matter can participate in a condition of salvation itself, for example, the doctrine of the resurrection of the body, and that nature can host the divine. An example of this is that the kingdom of God will come to earth. Christianity adds a doctrine of the incarnation to this belief. The book next looks into the Jewish thoughts on human existence and history. An important aspect of human existence relates to humans being made in the image of God. People are simultaneously fragile and filled with grandeur. We are simultaneously dust and divinity. Humans are also flawed, and Smith quotes Psalm 51:5. He reads, "I was born guilty, a sinner, when my mother conceived me." Lastly, he discusses that we possess free will, referencing the infamous forbidden fruit from the Garden of Eden. The Jewish religion views history differently than most previous religions. When Greeks see time as a recurring cycle, and Hindus see it as an illusion from which man is trying to escape, Judaism sees time as a linear timeline. There is a beginning, and after the course of time is complete, there is a final destination. Regarding morality and justice, Judaism has a strong structure of rules in their commandments. In addition to the 10 Commandments brought down by Moses as described in Exodus, the Hebrew Bible contains no less than 613 commandments in total. These commandments provide instruction on many topics, including the use of force, wealth, sex, and speech. These 4 specific categories are considered the danger zones of human interaction. The Jewish Bible also includes numerous books written by prophets. These prophets spoke on behalf of God to the people of Israel. The prophets and the writers of the Psalms discussed both love and justice. This brings us to our next section of the presentation. Here we discuss suffering, messianism, and Jews as the chosen people. Based on my personal interaction with people of the Jewish faith, some of these areas are not only keys to the Jewish faith, but also incredibly important in defining the persona of the Jewish culture. As such, I'll go into a little more depth in these areas. In Smith's text, suffering and messianism are related and intertwined. The concept of Jews being the chosen people carries directly into the topic of suffering as well. As the chosen people, Jews feel an exorbitant amount of responsibility and have been expected to learn from their suffering. The slavery and eventual exodus of the Jewish people from Egypt, their time spent in the desert, the plagues, these all were learning experiences in the eyes of the Lord. As chosen people, the responsibility of the Jewish population is to experience pain so that others may be spared that pain. Many may believe the term the chosen people indicates a level of arrogance or ego. This couldn't be further from the truth. The Jewish culture sees being the chosen people as a huge responsibility. As a small, unremarkable group of nomads, the odds of the Jews being chosen people were staggering. As Smith puts it, to sum up the matter, underdogs have only one direction to look, and it was the upward tilt of the Jewish imagination that eventually led the West to conclude that the conditions of life as a whole might improve. Smith describes the burden of the Jewish people as follows. For unlike other people, the Jews did not see themselves as singled out for privileges. They were chosen to serve, and to suffer the trials that service would often exact. By requiring that they do and obey all the Lord has spoken, their election imposed on them a far more demanding morality than was exacted of their peers. In many ways, the Jewish story is unique. Regarding Jewish history being exceptional, Smith states, there are two possibilities. Either the credit belongs to the Jews themselves, or it belongs to God. Given this alternative, the Jews instinctively turn the credit Godward. Even as the chosen people, they do not believe this is their own doing. The term Messiah translates to anointed. The Jewish religion looks towards the arrival of the Messiah to bring peace and justice to the world. This provides hope for the downtrodden community. Regardless of the excessive abuses that Jews have received throughout the course of history, they remain a strong-willed, believing population. These themes continue through cultures across the world today. Smith identifies it in the 1968 Civil Rights March on Washington speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. Smith describes the hallowing of life as the ritual and revelation of the Jewish religion. The Torah is the divine law and guidance for everyday actions. Jews are united more by what they do than what they think. The secret of piety consists of seeing the entire world as belonging to God and reflecting God's glory. To accept the good things in life, most of which come to us quite apart from our own efforts, as if they were matters of course without relating them to God, is quite wrong. In the Talmud, to eat or drink without first making the blessing over the meal is compared to robbing God of this property. Throughout Judaism runs this double theme. We should enjoy life's goodness, and at the same time, we should augment this joy by sharing it with God. Tradition permeates Jewish culture in all aspects of life. Regarding the realities of the Torah and the Talmud, the Jews did not identify these ideals on their own. They were revealed to them by God. Besides God's power and love, the Exodus disclosed a God who is intensely concerned with human affairs. The Torah is filled with stories of the Jewish people failing God and being punished in response. This is part of the responsibility of being the chosen people, but regardless of how many times they fall, they always come back to God and are forgiven. This brings us to the modern-day concept of Israel. Jewish culture consists of much more than just a religion. It consists of a faith, a method of observance, a culture including language, literature, and art, and also the physical land of Israel, in addition to the people themselves. As I've mentioned, Jews have suffered many abuses throughout human history, most notably in the Holocaust in the 1930s and 40s. After this, the Jewish nation needed a land that would allow them security, the ability to gather socially and culturally, and practice their religion safely. After World War II, Jews were finally able to return to Jerusalem. Interestingly, Smith notes the complexity of the Jewish culture as well. Variations in faith observance, tradition, and rituals exist from house to house and person to person. This does not take away from the identity of the Jewish culture. In fact, the existence of the State of Israel allows for this personal flexibility. For more than 3,000 years, the Jewish culture, religion, and population have lived, struggled, thrived, and been through every possible extreme of existence. The religion is the foundation for both Christian and Islamic beliefs. This strong, resilient culture continues to be an example of faith and commitment in our world. Thank you for watching my presentation.